So welcome back guys in this today chess video. Today what we are going to look is a beautiful game played between Mikhail and John Hazardson. Here Mikhail is with these white pieces and John Hazardson with the black pieces. Here Mikhail was playing in the tournament of Reykjavik ISL. Here the game started off by Mikhail with one e4 move. E5 is the response, knight f3, knight c6 and bishop to b5. It's called as the rule of pace, where you eliminate the defender of this only one pawn in the center and you can take this pawn. So from this position played was a6 to attack this bishop, asking a question. After the move bishop e4, bishop went back, knight to f6, attacking this pawn. And now instead of defending this pawn right away immediately, we just can castle, which happened in the game. Let us say what if they capture our pawn, which didn't happen in the game, but let us look. If they take, we have the move rook e1 attacking this knight, so they have to defend it. Otherwise what they can do is they can move their knight. Let us say if they defend with the move f5 like this, what we have, the move simple, bishop captures c6, d capture, b capture c6. Now we have the move d3, knight f6, knight captures e5, threatening a discovered check. So bishop e7 is forced. Now queen e2, and these are some engine lines. So we regain our pawn. If they don't defend and if they just move their back, they move their knight back like this, what we have, yes, we have bishop captures c6, d captures c6 and rook captures e5 check. So we are regaining the pawn, so which didn't happen in the game. In the game, after which castles and happened was rook e1, okay, bishop e7, rook moved on e1, b5, attacking this long little diagonally placed bishop. So this bishop has to move back, maintaining this long little diagonal. So bishop moved on b3, and now we have castle. Now the move played c3 in preparation to play the move d4. We have the move d6 to defend this central pawn because it has only two defenders. You can't directly push because there are many attackers of this square. So h3 is played. Now we have the move knight a5 attacking this bishop, and I think so you have to maintain this bishop here only, and when the knight takes, you can take with this a pawn, gaining a free open file for your rook. But instead Mikhail does an abnormal looking move, bishop c2. So we have the move c5, d4, queen c7, not trading the pawns. Now we have knight b d2 and bishop to d7. Knight goes on f1 square, and from this position we have a trade in the center. C captures d4, c captures d4, rook a goes on c8 in preparation to attack this bishop twice like this, and you have only one defender, the queen. So now from this position, what they did after this move, instead of saving this bishop, they played knight to e3. Yes, they are defending this bishop, but I thought they will simply drop their bishop back like this. But in the game happened was knight develop here and also defending this bishop. So after this move knight to c6 and the move d5 attacking this knight, and you are interlocking your position because as you can see this is somewhat locked position type setup. So in the game the next move came knight to b4 attacking this bishop thrice. So bishop to b1, and I'm waiting for this move only where you move your bishop, and now you have to do something about your knight because as it has no future here. So the move played a5 to defend this knight. I think this is a mistake because to move your knight back to a6 was the best move. So let us look. The move played a5 was in preparation to play the move knight a6, because as you can see this knight can't go here because it is covered by our pawn like this. So from this position what was played was a3 to attack this knight, as well as deflect this knight from this square which was covering some of the squares of our boards like this. So knight went on a6 and we have the move b4, g6, bishop d2, and now what you are threatening is to take this pawn because we have a double attack on it. So a captures b4, simply trading the pawns. A captures b4 and we have queen to b7, bishop d3 attacking this pawn, and now knight to c7, knight to c2, knight goes on h5 square, and bishop moved on e3. Now we have rook to e8, rook to a8, asking a trade for your rooks. But instead I think of a move which was something like rook to a5 4 square, defending this and also getting an a5 passer. So which didn't happen in the game, but instead happened was queen moved on d2 square. Now we have the move rook captures a1, and Mikhail captured with knight captures a1, rook captures a1. Okay, we have knight captures a1, then the move came f5 attacking the center. So after this move f5, you can see this bishop is trapped between f6, f2 and d2 square. Don't have any moves to play. Yes, can't go here also. This square is covered with this. So what you have is only one square. Instead of moving queen, and when he pushed the pawn forward, then you can drop your bishop back. So instead of these main calculations, Mikhail played just bishop h6 attacking this rook. So knight moved on g7, which is an unusual looking move. Yes, if your piece is being attacked, don't block the attacker. You can neutralize either attacker or move your piece. So this is an odd looking move. Now the move came, knight goes on b3 square, bringing your knight again into the game, and the move came f4. Now there was a threat of being captured here, and there was a fork to this bishop and the knight. Not really, because this bishop can take this pawn. So knight to a5 attacking this queen. So queen moved on b6, and now we have the move rook to c1 attacking this knight. Now the move came rook to a8. Okay, rook moved on a8 square attacking this long little placed knight which is defended by a pawn. So queen to c2 and knight c goes on e8. Now we have the move queen to b3. What you are doing with this move queen to b3 is defending your pawn, and as well at the same time you are not allowing this black knight to go back. So bishop moved on f6 square and knight to f6. This knight is now blocking this way of this vision of this bishop. So knight to h5 came, simple, and queen to b2. Bishop moved on g7 square, asking a trade of this bishops. So bishop trade, bishop captures g7, king captures g7, and rook to c5, sacrificing the rook. An unusual looking move, because let us look what if he takes. What we have then is knight f on f captures e5. Now we have the move queen a6, knight captures d7 check, knight h covers the f6 square, Now we have knight captures c5, queen a1 check, queen captures 7, rook captures 7 check, king h2, and this is how we have gained a bishop and 2 pawns for a rook, which is totally winning in the end game. So from this position it was total winning. So John Hazardson didn't took the rook, but instead played rook captures queen to a6. Now we have the move rook captures b5 and knight to c7 attacking the rook. Now we have rook to b8. Discovered attack on this queen. Let us say if you take my bishop, I will I will do now is knight captures c5, knight c captures e5, and after the move queen to a3, d1 check also, which happened in the game, but let us look the engine line. Queen goes on a3, then we have queen captures a3, rook captures a3, knight captures d7. So this is how we are a 2 pawn up in an end game. So from this position happened was queen d1 check, king h2, rook a1, knight g4 check, king f7, knight h6 check, king e7, and after the move knight g8 check. Can you spot the mate in one? Yes. The king, this rook is covering the whole last file, defending this knight as well. What if this pawn is covering these two squares? This square is covered with our queen, this long little. You are forced to go on f7 square. Now we have the move knight to g5, a checkmate. So this is how this was the game played between John Hazardson and Mikhail. So if you have liked it, please subscribe to our channel and like this video.